Welcome back to another Dolly video. I'm Rainy, and today I'm going to be airbrushing. I do a lot of different projects, and gradually they all build up until they need to be painted, and then I do other projects that need to be painted, and then I do other projects that need to be painted, and then here we are, everything needs to be painted, so I'm going to try and do it today. I'm wearing my paint shirt, which is a Les Miserables paint shirt, because airbrushing makes me crave revolution. But what else is new? So, this little lady right here, Mireille, she is wearing her Halloween costume. She was a cloud for Halloween. I basically took everything white and fluffy that I own, and I put it all on her. She has a little white fluffy pillow and all. But what you might also notice about her is she still doesn't have a face. She still does not have one. So today, maybe I'll give her one. We'll see. We'll see if I can get up the courage. Here we are. This is it. This is where the magic happens. Actually, this is where a lot of failure happens. Like, seriously. I got this airbrush like a month ago, and it has been a comedy of errors ever since. Like, whew, when I tell people about it, you know, it's quite funny, because it didn't happen to them. It happened to me. Perhaps I'll share some of those bungles with you. Perhaps some of them will happen tonight. We shall see. Alright. I'm about to do it. I'm about to jump into it. I'm going to just go ahead and jump into it with the scariest one. I'm just going to do Mireille's head right off the bat. Bet you weren't expecting that. Okay, anyway, nervous laughter. Oh, anyway. Always remember to socially distance from your airbrush, okay? No, always wear a respirator when you're using solvents. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Mireille's head. I'm just gonna give it a coat of Frame Arms Girl. So hopefully I can put a coat of Mr. Super Clear on her and then see what happens, you know? So anyway, this is Frame Arms Girl White Flesh. This is Mr. Color Thinner. The first time I used the airbrush, I tried to dilute this with acrylic paint thinner. Not the same thing chemically. It basically turned into a glue and clogged my entire airbrush for 3 hours. It's a great first experience. Anyway, if anyone knows where I can buy this reliably in the US, please tell me. I've only gotten lucky on eBay like once. So please let me know if you know where to buy this stuff in America. Alright, so I'm gonna mix. I'm gonna be real precise about this. I'm gonna mix a ratio of 1:1 or 1:2. Right? I don't know. I may have poured in too much. Oh well. If anyone knows another hobby color, not acrylic, like an enamel color that matches any of Vault's Selfie Dream skin tones, especially tan, please tell me. I would love to know. It's supposed to be the texture of skim milk, so we'll see if we can get there. Alright, I think we're about good. filled up the airbrush. Now to test it out. All right, I don't hate this match. Nice. So this is semi-white, and this is Frame Arms Girl White Flesh. This is several coats. It's like 3 coats, which is why it's a little shiny now. So yeah, I'm gonna hit that with some Mr. Super Clear after I'm sure it's cured completely, and after it stops raining, and then I might move on to the next bit with that. But first, we've got lots of other airbrushing fun to get into. Since I used an enamel paint for this, I'm actually gonna jump right in, and I think I'm going to work with Jared next. So I'll show you some, cause you know, I don't wanna just cram acrylic paint in there and then enamel paint and then acrylic. I think I'm gonna do some more enamel painting. But all right, so here are some pretty cool paints that I was able to nab off eBay. So these are called Pro Mix colors. These specific hues here are, this is Flesh Shadow Pink and Flesh Shadow Orange. So you actually put these on first, and they're quite bright. And then you use either this is called Flesh Arms Girl, and this is called Bright Flesh. So I think Flesh Arms Girl is meant to be a dupe of Frame Arms Girl White Flesh, but I'm not sure. So you pick one of these to put on over, and these are translucent. And then lastly, we've got Flesh Effect, which goes on over for that last touch. So I'm pretty psyched to try and use these. I've never used them before, and I really want to try. So these are specifically for use in like figure painting. So I'm going to try and give my little chubby elf, let's be real, chubby elf could describe most of my dolls. So let me try to give this chubby elf the royal figure treatment. Jared has already been prepared with Mr. Super Clear, and I'm gonna go in and try, and I don't know how successful I am at filming the actual airbrushing itself. It's pretty nerve-wracking, and I kind of need to focus, so I'll probably show you at each stage. Alright, here we are. A little while later. We have done the orange shadows and the pink shadows. So here we are so far. Now these are going under a translucent layer, so they're quite saturated right now. I also went ahead and did them on the practice heads here. So there are some mishaps. Airbrushing is difficult, but I'm getting better at troubleshooting. So, you know, it got really clogged a couple times, but I'm getting there. I'm working on it, trying to get better each time. So I think I've decided I'm not going to attempt Mireille's face up with airbrush. I'm just not that precise yet. Might be good for some blushing like this, but yeah, I think I'm going to go with pastels for now because I just feel more comfortable with that. But I'm going to keep going with these guys and see what I can do. So the next coat is going to be a flesh-colored translucent coat over top. So let's see how that goes. Alright, so here we are. This is the final, for now, the final blushing. So this is with the kind of peach flesh, the bright flesh color applied over the shadows, and with the final flesh effect also applied. So I thought the flesh effect was supposed to be like a gloss or something, but it really, I just kind of applied it over the whole thing and it just gave it this kind of like lively look, I guess. I'm not too displeased with this. I mean, pretty happy with how it came out. Now, do I have precision with this? No. Like I don't know if it's my compressor, which can only do 15 PSI, or if it's my total lack of any expertise whatsoever. But I just am not very precise yet. So here are these little heads with the flesh effect and the transparent flesh over it. So I think they look pretty cool. But again, there's a lot of mistakes on here. At one point it started spitting little specks out. I don't know why. But I expect that this is something that will get better with time. I think this Pro Mix paint is pretty cool, but it clogs the airbrush like nobody's business. It was so gummy. Again, I don't know if that's because I'm working with a max of 15 PSI, which is not great. But anyway, so what I'll probably do is I'll probably do the rest of these face-ups with pastel and paint it on acrylic. You know, it's not too bad for a base layer, but again, I don't know. I don't think I would necessarily say I'm awesome at airbrushing. Of course, my precious Mireille, I'm really happy with the color matching. It's perfect. It's a perfect color match. So now I can work with this head as if it were originally a semi-white head. And I can go ahead and spray her with Mr. Super Clear to give her that nice matte look, and then do her face up to practice for when I have the courage to work on her actual semi-white head. So definitely happy with that application. Now, here is the final thing I was able to do. I was able to antique this bed frame. So I'm going to give you a little peeling fun here. Alright, and here's the finished headboard. So, I like what that did for the contrast. I hope this will look nice in my diorama next to the other headboard. Yep, so my diorama is going to be Safi and Mireille's college dorm room. So you will see this there. And again, it's 3D pen, and I've just airbrushed it a bit to give it some more contrast so you can see the main elements. I used a really translucent paint that I used high flow medium with to make it more translucent so that you can still get the nice shine of the rose gold PLA. Alright, thanks for coming with me on this journey. I didn't do everything I wanted to do, and I think I discovered that, you know, I can get some precise detail, but nowhere near as precise as I can get with pastel. So I think it was a learning experience. Every time I do airbrush, I get a little bit better at it. And this was my first time trying to airbrush details on dolls. So, you know, success, failure, something in between. Something in between. Yeah, it was definitely something in between. But I got to use a cool paint, and I could definitely work with these, you know. I can make some improvements and make some adjustments in pastel, and I'm sure they'll look a lot better when they have faces and, in the case of Jared here, clothes and hair and painted on eyes, kind of A-zone style. And in the case of Mireille, when she is back on her body. So I'm excited to do these projects soon. Thanks for coming along on my first time using an airbrush on dolls. It was tough, and if you have any advice, I would greatly appreciate it. At this point, I don't know if it's my compressor or if it's my abilities, but something's off. But I'm sure I'll get better, and I'm gonna go, I think, cuddle into a blanket, because the window's been open the whole time and it's like 30 degrees outside. I'm pretty cold. But I hope you found something about this video interesting, and see you next time. Bye. Starry is laying beside her bed instead of in her bed, because that is where the vent is, and she wants to lay on top of the vent. Are you venting? Are you venting? Are you on the vent? Oh, don't let me bother you. Don't let me spoil your fun. Feel free to vent. The house is plenty warm, but she just cannot get enough of that vent. Are you snuggly? Are you snuggly? Alright, I'll stop bothering you. I'm just gonna bother you a little. Oh